The truth universally acknowledged that this series will put you in one of the biggest book hangovers of your life. I have seen so many videos here on Book Talk where people are trying to recommend series that they think are going to give them that same feeling as Throne of Glass, and I have some thoughts. Let's start with what we know. Throne of Glass is an 8-book series that follows a huge cast of characters in a fantasy world full of magic and secrets. The first thing I want to say is a lot of times when I see people looking for this, they are looking strictly for romanticies, fantasy romances. And honestly, I think if you're going to put yourself in that bubble, you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice, because Throne of Glass is even more so about the plot and the characters than the romance, in my opinion. So I'm not saying that any romantasy series recs based on this are going to be bad. I just don't think it's necessarily going to give you that feeling. Also, a lot of them that I'm seeing are just trilogies or something, whereas with Throne of Glass, you have so many books to get invested in the world, and so I do think a larger series is the way to go. That being said, I wanted to show you 4 series that I have on my TBR that I have as hopefuls for something giving me that world building, character love with some romance I get from Throne of Glass. The first is the Witchlands series by Susan Dennard. I've read the first couple books, and honestly, I think these are so criminally underrated to begin with. You follow Safia, a truth witch, and Isolde, a threat witch, and there are as many types of magic as there are people in this world. There are currently 5 books out, but I think there are planned to be a lot more. Each character has their own journey. There are some romances. First recommendation and hopeful for a feeling like Throne of Glass. The second is the Lady of Darkness series by Melissa K. Roach. There are 5 books in this series. This one is going to be more, I would say, on the fantasy romance scale, but you are going to get that like trained by an assassin feeling of Throne of Glass in this one. And while I've not started the series yet, I know that Melissa Roach has said that all of her series are going to connect, and the Legacy series is ongoing. Book 3 comes out in time for Halloween, and I think it's going to be a lot more than that. So, Lady of Darkness. And the last 2 I have are going to be more true fantasy, high fantasy. I honestly think that sometimes we get it in our heads that high fantasy is too scary. We don't want to start a big series, but I think honestly that will give us the best feeling we're looking for. The Assassin's Apprentice, it's part of the Realm of the Elderlings by Robin Hobb. I believe there are 15 books in this series. I have a number of friends that are reading it and loving it right now, saying it's the best thing they've ever read. Adventure, magic, sinister plots, following multiple trilogies. This just feels like it's gonna have that feeling I'm looking for. And last for this video is the Chorus of Dragons series by Jen Lyons. It starts with the Ruin of Kings. This book follows a thief and a minstrel's son who is kidnapped and discovers that he's a long-lost prince, but it's nothing like what he thought. Unlike in the storybooks, he is not destined to save the kingdom. 5-book completed series full of everything you want in a fantasy. And I don't have them here with me, but honestly, I think that The Wheel of Time belongs on this list, as well as Lord of the Rings and The Expanse by James S. A. Corey, which is a science fiction fantasy. Have you found any books that give you a Throne of Glass feeling? And if so, what are they?